of sovereignty. The RP-U.S. Military Bases Agreement was signed on March 14, 1947. It provided the United States with 99 years lease to more than 20 base sites, covering some 250,000 hectares in 13 provinces. In 1959, the base's area was reduced to 117,075 hectares. President Ferdinand Marcos refused to compromise the nation's sovereignty and territorial integrity in the negotiations for the Military Bases Agreement. Thus, the Serrano-Bolin Memorandum of Lease Agreement from 99 years to 25 years. In 1976, President Marcos further reduced the base's area to 71,000 hectares. President Marcos reduced the lease agreement from 25 years to 5 years and 250,000 hectares to 10,000 hectares coverage. It also reaffirmed Philippine sovereignty over the bases, and President Marcos called it, fittingly, the final liberation of the Philippines. Following the 1983 Military Bases Agreement review, President Ronald Reagan pledged his best efforts to increase security assistance to the Philippines to $900 million for the period 1984 to 1986, $125 million to military assistance grants, $300 million in foreign military sales credits, and $475 million in economic support funds. And now the question arises, who killed Senator Benigno Aquino? This is the question that remains unanswered to this day. Here are the facts. It was Madam Imelda Marcos who facilitated his departure for the United States for that heart operation that he so badly needed. It was Mrs. Marcos who arranged everything so that his flight via Philippine Airlines to the United States was on schedule. Upon learning of his desire to come home reached President Marcos, it was again Mrs. Marcos who was sent to the United States to ask him to delay his flight home due to an intelligence report that some people wanted to do him harm. It was Mrs. Marcos who frequently had dialogue with Senator Aquino then during Mrs. Marcos's frequent trips to the United States on official basis. But all these were not. He was being given the wrong information. The biggest lie of all was that President Marcos was dying. All the admonitions for him to delay his trip fell on deaf ears. He insisted on coming home after being fed the erroneous information that Marcos was dying. The rest, as you know, is history. A tragic mistake in judgment on his part. A tragic error that cost him his life. Who killed Ninoy? Let it be enough when we say maybe. Whoever did him in still walks amongst us. On the question, was Marcos a dictator? The answer, no. Marcos was a great Democrat. A dictator never calls for an election. 16 elections. One in November 9 of 1965. Two, November 14 of 1967. 3, November 11 of 1969. 4, November 10 of 1970. 5, November 9, 1971. 6, April 7, 1978. April 27, 1978. 8, May 7, 1979. 9, May 27, 1979. 10, January 30, 1980. 11, June 16, 1981. 12. May 17, 1982. 13. June 17, 1982. 14. May 14, 1984. 15. February 7 of 1986. Marcos, the only Philippine president re-elected 4 times. Cory Aquino stole the presidency of 1986. Ferdinand Marcos was the duly elected president of that snap elections of that year. The winning margin of President Marcos was more than 1 million votes. Marcos was proclaimed the winner by the Philippine Congress and sworn into office by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. By a twist of misfortune, however, 2 of Marcos's trusted lieutenants turned their back against him for reasons of their own and installed instead a bogus candidate, Cory. A revolutionary government was proclaimed. Elected officials of the country were removed. Then the Constitution was changed by a so-called bunch of delegates handpicked by the usurper and company. The rest is a dark chapter in the Philippine political history. We probably have the most beautiful cultural heritage in Malakas and Maganda. It is a balanced tradition where one must be strong, the other beautiful. One provides the house and the other provides the heart that makes it a home. Thus, Ferdinand and Imelda epitomizes the cultural partnership that is akin to Malakas and Maganda. Legend has it that both souls came from one bamboo split in the middle to signify the importance of each other. Nowhere in the cultural history of any nation mirrors this idea of love and partnership than in this country, the Philippines. And finally, I quote Madam Imelda Romualdez Marcos. The only things that you keep are those you give away.